So how did you find out about what we do? How did you find Nick?
Yeah, so I found Nick through your YouTube videos. To be honest, the one thing that I appreciated from Nick's videos more than anything is like the fact that you're actually showing real Airbnb, like the real Airbnb platform, and like the income that you're actually making from it, right? Because like to be honest, 99% of people don't do that. My goals on looking at Tulum is I went a few times and I like the fact that there is in tech as well, right? One thing that we look for in markets that do very, very well for certain attributes is very high income and very low income, right? A high income gap. And you can see that very highly in Tulum, and also the fact that it's just like it's a beautiful place. Like there's a lot of money being spent there. Like even for myself, when I went there, I was like, this is expensive, man. Like are people really like coming here like this? Like the fact that you could see like a taxi in Tulum is like 200 from the airport versus like in Mexico City you do it for like $20, right?
Yeah.
It's wild how much like people are spending out there, right? So that really attracted me, and kind of like how people just keep going and like how popular it is, and I believe it's gonna continue to get popular. My goal for an investment would be strictly return on investment. I'm not like emotionally attached to the property whatsoever. I don't get attached to properties that I'm investing in because the end goal is just for return on investment. I don't want to live in it. I really just I'm looking for the return on investment on a cash flow perspective, which is the biggest thing, and then also an equity portion, right?
Okay.
And so right now my budget would be around 100K USD. I'm looking for something that to leverage kind of like it could be a one bedroom, but I do want to leverage like a living room aspect as well that could be potentially fitting for. But I kind of wanted to hear from you guys, like from previous experience, like what's happening in the market.
Okay, so I guess I'll start by telling you a little bit about what the market has done, let's say the last 8 years, which is really when Tulum began to get on the map. But it hasn't really been to the last few years, particularly COVID. COVID potentialized everything because people realized that they didn't want to be stuck at home. They wanted to travel. They wanted to get away. Mexico never closed, right? Our borders remained open the whole time. So we're a neutral country, which is awesome. So Tulum received more tourism than any other place in the world. This is in 2021, and I believe also 2022. So, definitely right now is a good time because even though Tulum began about 8 years ago, it wasn't really till the last few years that it's exploding. However, that being said, it's also good to know kind of what's being projected. So we work with market studies. I've been doing that for many years here for other developers as well. And the stats show us like who's coming, where they're from, what they like. And that way we can cater to that. We can design products for them. We can create experiences for them. We can charge accordingly, right? Or cost per night. Everything comes off of that information. So based on that information is how we're able to tell, what's a good investment, what's producing well, what kind of concepts they like, so forth, so forth. So that's kind of our specialty.
So when I was there, I was pretty much doing my scoping as well, right? So I'm speaking with the locals, kind of seeing like what's actually happening with people that are working there, right? Everybody believes that Tulum's gonna blow up. Like that's something that's a general output for everybody that's there. Right. Everybody believes it's gonna continue. Some things that were like I guess like concerning is like government input into Tulum. For example, so many developments happening, right? But roads that are not developed.
Because that's a good question, and it's really a concern that we all have, even myself as a developer, because it's in my best interest that the municipality really focuses on creating the right infrastructure, and number two, that they go at the same pace as construction. And that's the problem, that the development is going faster than the city can respond. And I really feel that the government knows that because of all the attention Tulum's had. And you start to see some development. For example, you talked about the street, right?
Yeah.
Kukulkan. That's this one right here. Kukulkan is this one. This one's the main one, Koba, the one everyone used to access Tulum, or the beach. And then this one over here is Kukulkan. There's no other way of getting there. So that's a problem, right? Now, how long it takes for this? It could be 5 years for it to fully be done.
For my research, I think there's been like usually Tulum's a very like interesting place because you can't really get or you can, but you're paying a huge premium on like properties near the water, but there's not going to be that many developments near the like right beside the water because that land's not able to be built on, right? If I'm not mistaken.
No, that's right. Yeah.
And so what do you think has the biggest hotspots?
Well, like anything else, The closer you are to the ocean matters. Number two, the infrastructure that you're on matters. So there's two takeaways from that. Number one is you heard of Aldea Sama. Aldea Sama right now is without a doubt the most valuable piece of land. I mean, it's $600 per square meter versus outside is $250. So it's more than double. The problem is when you start to see these big developments, right, that have 80 units, some have more than 100 units. That's not Tulum anymore, right? People don't want to go and step into what seems like it's a hotel. What I think matters, in addition to the area, I think is what type of development you invest into. And also, when you invest into boutique development, generally the developer puts more attention to the details. When you buy in a big commercial development, it's kind of like a cookie cutter. Boom, boom, boom. Everything is square. Everything is basic. It has to be efficient for the builder.
And is there anything else that's like, I guess, more aggressive? So like, let's say you put 50 down and then put 50 down on completion.
Yes, that's possible. So those are possible. And I think with that in mind, you can probably get a 1-bedroom, which I would highly recommend. I think we can find 1-bedrooms at around that range. And we've already sold 4 of these. So there's only 4 left. These will go pretty soon. But these 1-bedrooms here, they're roughly 740 square feet. So they're pretty big 1-bedrooms. And they all have their own pool. That's a big, I think, a benefit for the people who are coming and renting. This is what separates your unit from others. These ground ones, they have their own private pool. These are massive pools.
If I can get a 1-bedroom that has some sort of layout like this, right, that's in my price range, that is definitely something I'm looking for.
Just help me out and tell me what is the maximum that you can comfortably do so that I can stick within a budget and not, go more than what's doable.
I would say maximum that I could potentially do is 150.
All right, then yeah, that helps me a lot. Which actually leads me to my last point, David. Assuming that we did find something, you said that you would have access to the cash in September, correct?
September.
Okay, so then what we could do is, because everything goes by quick, so what's available now, will definitely not be available in September. But maybe I can look at a development that is further out, like you said, and maybe we could do a reservation if the developer accepts it. And then the last thing, David, is I will ask is if you want to work with us, then I will ask that you give us the exclusivity to representing you, because a lot of people are out there online talking to different agents, talking to different agencies, and then they want to work with us as well. But it can be a mess.
I'm okay with the whole exclusivity part. It's just good business. You guys seem like honest guys. Just from like I've done a lot of research on you guys, and you guys seem very solid. And yeah, a lot of things that like I'm looking into. I know what I want. I'm not coming in with a blank sheet. Like I've done my research in the market, and I'm serious about this.
Thanks for watching the video. If you like this snippet, the entire video is right here.